Hi, today we're talking about how to get your course set up in Podia. And Podia is what we call a learning management system. It is basically where you put your course, like where students go in to take your course. So it's where it hosts your videos and your workbooks and all the good stuff like Zoom links or maybe a link to your Facebook group. But it's basically a place to organize all your content for your course. So it's really easy for your students to go into it. Now, let me just start by saying that you do not need a learning management system to start teaching your first course. You could just teach it live on Zoom. You do not, I repeat, you do not need a learning management system. So that is like the good news. You don't need this. But if you do want one, and a lot of course creators want something that looks professional, it's easy for their students to use. And so I recommend Podia because it is one, it's really cheap. It's only 39 bucks a month to get started, which is one of the cheaper options out there compared to like Kajabi, which is $150 US a month. I also find it really easy to use. You just like pop everything in, which I'm going to go through and show you guys how to use it. And I've tried a lot of learning management systems, and quite honestly, there's things about each of them that I like and things that I don't like. And Podia was pretty simple, and for the price, I just thought it was really good. So I've been with them for almost a year now, and I'm really liking them, and they seem to be very open to feedback when I have issues or when I find something that I think should be changed on the platform. And just as a side note, I'm probably their most annoying customer because I teach college. So I'm like, you need to add this and this and this and this to your learning management system. So sorry, Podia, but your product will be better because of all of my annoying feedback. Anyway. All right, so before you actually go in and set up your course in your learning management system, if you're going to pre-record your whole course, you can actually do that. Like you can record all your videos, get all your workbooks set up and everything before you set it up inside of a learning management system. I just recommend having all of your content organized somewhere, either in a Google Doc or I use Trello, like it looks like this here. I use Trello to organize all my courses, but just to have all of your content in one place. So the links to all your videos, the links to all your workbooks, just so you know where everything is. And once you have all that done, then you can go in and put it into Podia. The other option is that you could actually pre-sell your course, so not have anything done, which is, that's what I do, not have anything done at all, pre-sell your course, and then go and create it and put it into your learning management system. So either way, you can do that. I will show you both ways in Podia. So let's dive in. All right, so we're gonna jump into Podia. So if you go down below my videos, I've got a link for Podia. This is one of my other videos, but you will get the same link in there. This is my affiliate link, so if you want to just sign up for Podia on your own, you can, or you can sign up through my affiliate link, and it doesn't cost you anything extra to sign up through my link, but I get a small commission. So if you want to sign up here, you can start your free 14-day trial and just put in your name, email, and create a password for yourself. And you can just try it for free for 14 days to see if you like it or not. My word of advice, you can actually start selling products within that 14 days. But if you are going to offer your customers a payment plan to buy your course, which I highly recommend, you need to pay for Podia subscription before you do the payment plan. And I'll go into that a little bit more when we're talking about the payment plans later in this video. But I'm going to go into my account because obviously I already have an account. So I'm going to go into mine and we will set up a course. So I'm just going to log in here. All right. And so when you go into Podia the first time, you're obviously not going to have any products so far. So you are going to want to go into this products tab, or you can just go straight into create here. So let's go into create and we can create our first product, and your first product is going to be your course. And so under Podia, you can actually sell courses, memberships, or digital products, whatever you want, but we are going to do an online course, obviously, in this one. The other ones, like doing a digital download, it basically sets you up like a mini version of a course that you are selling as well. So it's basically the same process. Let me know if you guys want me to do a separate video on the digital download setup. But for now, we're going to focus on course creation. Okay, so we're going to go to, let's set up my YouTube course. We're going to call it YouTube Made Easy or something like that. My actual YouTube course is called YouTube Made Simple, but we're going to just kind of make a replica of that course. So create product. There we go. Okay, and so this is like the bare bones of your course now. We can start adding things in, and we're just gonna do a simple setup here because I want you to be able to get your course set up really fast and to be able to start selling it right away as soon as possible. Okay, so your sections are going to be like your modules or your chapters of your course, however you like to refer to those as, but those are like the big chunks or milestones that your students are gonna have to go through to get to the end of your course to be successful, okay? And so as you guys know, I have my course outlined already in Trello. And so my modules are module 1 is setting the foundation, kind of like a foundational module. So number 2 is setting up your channel. Number 3 is shooting your first video start to finish. And then number 4 is set up for long-term success. And I actually call this module like, let's get nerdy. That's what I call it. So let's go in and set those up. So I'm going to go to add section. And I actually usually do a welcome section as well, just like where to get started for people when they first dive in. So if you have a Facebook group, you would want to link to it in there. Or if you have like a welcome video for your new students, that would be really nice to put in there as well, just so they're not just diving right into the content. Maybe they can get to know you a little bit better. Okay. So I'm going to say like, this is going to be our welcome section. All right, so welcome to the course. This is where you can find our Facebook group and an intro video from Brandy, and then just click save. All right, so that is your welcome section. And so I'm just going to go through and I'm going to add in all the sections that I want. And those are, again, going to be my module names. For my other modules, I'm going to go to add content and add section. And then I'm just going to put in the module names first, and then I'm going to go through and fill everything else out after. So when you're setting up your modules, you can either just do it as a title. So my module 1 is called something like setting the foundation, or like understanding why you're getting into YouTube, or something along those lines. But you can either call it like this, like mod 1, setting the foundation, or you could call it just like 1, setting the foundation, or you could just go like this. I kind of like to put it in mod 1. And that way my course is just kind of all set up the same way. And I also like to put my modules in capitals just so they kind of stand out, and it's keeps the format consistent throughout my whole course. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Add section. So I could call this setting up your channel. If I want to inject a little bit more of my personality into this, which I like to, I actually call this like make your channel pretty. Because really that's what we're doing. We're making it look nice so that people want to subscribe to it. So that is why I name it. I inject some of my personality into it, and I'm not a very serious person. So I try to make a little bit fun as we're going through. All right, and module 4 is let's get nerdy, which is basically like all the analytics, all the systems that are going to help you long-term as a YouTuber. So that's how I set up my course. So that's how I set up my course for my modules into those 4. And then you might also want to have like an exit module where you could get student feedback, where you, if you want to give them like a certificate, you can. If there's any next steps, if you want to like offer to have them join your membership, anything like that, you might want to put into like an kind of an exit module. So the next thing I'm going to encourage you to think about here is if you want to drip your content, or if you want to have it all available at the same time. And so dripping content, what that means is that it comes out over a period of time. So for example, module 1 would be available right away to people, but they would have to wait like say 1 week to get module 2. And then they'd have to wait another week to get module 3 and another week to get module 4. So this works really well if you haven't filmed all your videos, which if you're creating your first ever course, this might be the case. You might not have everything ready quite yet. And so that's a really nice option. So if you go in here, edit section, you can go into the drip settings and turn on drips, and then you can choose how many days after the person enrolls in your course they get this. So for example, if you wanted this to be available 1 week after they enroll, then you would put 7 days. And you can also have Podia send your customers an email when the new section becomes available, which is really nice. So it's all automated for you. I'm going to turn this feature off, but you can definitely just customize this and be like, hey, our new section is available. Make sure you dive in, and these are the things that you want to look for in this section. Okay. But I'm just going to turn that off for now. So I'm going to go save. And then, so as you can see now, module 1 says this section will be available immediately. And then module 2 says it will be available after 7 days. Okay. Module 3, we want it available 7 days after this one, after module 2. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into drip settings, turn on drips, and I'm going to say 14 days. And again, I'm just going to turn this off. And this one will be 21 days. All right. So one really important thing to note here is that changing the settings here will only affect new customers. Okay. So this is one of my pet peeves about this is that for your existing customers, if your drip settings will only affect your new customers. So if you decided to change your drip settings, your old customers who are already in your course will not get those new settings. Okay. That's kind of annoying, but anyway. All right, so anyway, so we've got our module 2 coming out 7 days after, 14 days after, and 21 days after. So it's basically dripping 1 week at a time, which is great, okay? So now you need to go in and fill out basically all of the content in your course. And there are kind of 2 ways to do this. So some course creators like to have individual worksheets attached to each lesson, whereas some course creators like me, I like to have a bigger workbook that is for the entire module that's a little bit more comprehensive. And the reason I choose to do a bigger workbook for mine is that I like students to have the option to read the content as well as watching the videos or anything else. So I like to have a little bit more visual content for them if they want to have a space to take notes or anything like that. That is how I'm going to set mine up, but I'll also show you the option to insert individual worksheets. And like you guys have seen, I do this all in Trello. So if you guys can see, we'll click into this video here. Who are your videos for? So what I've done in my Trello board is under my description, I've got my video link that I need to put into Podia. I've got the title already done and I've got my description already done. So now it's just a matter of like copying and pasting this over into Podia. And what I like about this system is one, if you have a VA, they can do this for you. Okay. You've made the video, you've told them what it needs to be called. You have done the description. Now your VA can actually go through and put all of this into your learning management system for you and you don't have to do it. The other thing I like about outlining this way is that if you ever decide to change your learning management system, it's really not that big of a deal. You can change down the road. Who cares? You already have all your links to your videos, your titles, and your description. You can hire somebody or you could do this yourself. You could just go through and copy all of these things into your new system instead of being like, oh no, all of my videos are just locked into my learning management system and I can never change. No, we do not want that. We want you to be flexible. So set it up in here in Trello or set it up in a Google Doc somehow that you have all the information so it's flexible for you if you ever want to change. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab this and I'm going to bring it over. Okay. I'm going to go add content. And since my videos are listed as unlisted on YouTube, I'm going to say add a link. Okay. You have the option of adding a file in. So if you have a PDF, you'll add it like that. You can add a link, you can add text, or you can add a quiz. Okay. I'm going to add a link because my video is on YouTube as unlisted. All right. So this is about your ideal viewer. So like really deciding who your audience is and figuring out what kind of videos they would like. All right. So my title here, I'm going to grab. And the description. Okay, so I'm going to save the changes and it just shows up like that. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to put the other video lessons in for module 1. Lesson 1.5 is choosing a topic or getting video ideas or something like that. So just like brainstorming ideas for your YouTube channel. And so I'm going to, again, go about the same thing. So copying over the title, grabbing the YouTube link, And then in my description though, I wanted to include a Google Sheet for my students so that it would be a little bit easier for them to brainstorm topics. And I want to give them the tool that I made to brainstorm my own topic. What I want to put is I want to say like here, click here to get a copy. And then I actually put the link in here for the sheet itself. Here we go. So I'm just going to grab that. And what I can do is highlight this section here. And then I'm going to click this little link button here and put that like that and then go link. Okay. And so that is in there as a link now. So I'm going to go save changes and then that's in there. Okay. So a couple things you should know about Podia. So you can move around the lessons like this. You can also move around, and sorry, to do that, I just grabbed the side here with my mouse and I'm just dragging it up and down. So I'm putting these in order. You can also move the entire module. So if I was like, oh, I think we should make your first video before we make your channel pretty, I could actually just move mod 3 up to mod 2 and then obviously change this to mod 2 and this one to mod 3. But you could change the entire order if you wanted to with these up and down arrows there. And then I'm also going to show you how you can insert a file into your section here, into your module. So for example, I have my workbooks and I could choose either to do this as a link to say like a Dropbox folder or to a Google folder that is shared with my workbook in it. Or what I can do is I can download the workbook onto my computer and then upload it as a file to Podia. So either way, whichever one you choose, both of them work. I've got my YouTube course workbooks created in Canva, which I love Canva. This is the best for making workbooks. And if you're making a course and you haven't invested in a workbook template, I highly, highly, highly recommend that. I will link a couple of my favorite template shops down below so you can get a template. It saves you so much time when you are creating a course to just have everything look consistent and beautiful right off the bat. All right, so I'm just going to download this module 1 workbook. So I need it to be PDF. Make sure you click on high quality. We want it to look nice. All right, so let's save this as YouTube Workbook Mod 1. And I'm just gonna save it onto my desktop. All right, so now I can go into add content and add files. And either I can just drag and drop my files. So I could just grab it from here down at the bottom where it's downloaded and drop it in here. You could also go find it in your file explorer and then just drop it in from there. I always just download it from Canva and then upload it right away into Podia so then I don't lose it somewhere on my computer, as I have been known to do. So I'm just gonna put it in right away, upload, and then it looks kind of weird, the title. So I'm just gonna change the title. So I go edit, and the title is going to be Workbook Mod 1. And then I wanna move this up to the very beginning because I want them to download and print this off or download it onto their computer and use it as they're going through the rest of the lessons. The other way they like to set up their courses is to have just one individual worksheet attached to their video lesson, and that is totally legit. So let's pretend we're gonna do that. Okay, so I'm gonna open up this one here, your ideal viewer, and let's pretend that this file that I just downloaded is my individual worksheet for this lesson. Okay, I can actually just drag this right into my description here and it will pop in there. Okay, so it's actually showing up as your download. All right, so I'm gonna make this bold and I'm just gonna make it sound out a little bit. So then it's actually in there as a file. So you could do this as a link to a Google Doc again, or you can do this right as a file. So I'm gonna go save changes. I'm just gonna go and take a look at how this looks. So I'm gonna go preview as a customer. So that's what my workbook looks like. And so now you guys can see, you might want some text below here explaining what this is. Here is my first lesson. This is what it's going to look like. There we go. And as you can see, the customers will only see module 1 for now. And that is because I have dripped the rest of the content, meaning that the rest of it will not be available for 7 days. So someone coming right in won't see my full course yet. So, and it gets crossed off as we go. So as you can see, this is where we actually inserted a PDF into the description. So remember on the Your Ideal Viewer one here, we actually inserted this. So I'm just going to click on it and see what happens. All right, so that looks great. Perfect. Okay. So that looks really good. And I'm gonna go down and see the rest of them just to see what they look like. Perfect. Creating your opt-in and video ideas. And I just want to make sure that this link works as well. And I just want to make a quick note that yours will not be pink. The reason mine is pink is because I've gone through and set up all my branding colors in Podia. I can do another video on that if you guys wanted to. I just wanted to show you how to like set up the structure of your course in this video, but just let me know if you want to know how to make it into your branding colors. Mine are very pink, as you can tell, which I'm guessing not everyone's is. All right, so yours will not be pink unless you choose it to be pink. All right, but I think that looks pretty good for now. So I'm just going to come back here. So if you are the type of person who is creating your course as you're going, which is totally fine, you could just set it up. The first module is ready to go. I would also put in your welcome videos here. And then what you can do is you can go in and create all your settings, your pricing in order to actually sell your course, which is the exciting part. Okay, so let's go into our settings and just check it out, see how it's going. All right, so this is gonna be YouTube Made Easy, and then this is going to be the URL for my course, okay? So if I click on this, that is what it looks like so far. So the sales page does not look very exciting right now. So we're gonna have to change that eventually. I will do another sales page video and link it to this one here, but this video is going to be about the internal structure of the course. All right. So you can choose categories if you want. As you can see, I have a course creation category. For this one, I'm going to say it is YouTube. Let's pretend I have more than one YouTube product. All right. Enrollment for your start date. This is really nice because you can actually set the date that this is going to start. So let's pretend I'm going to set this for February 28th. And what happens now is that people can pay to get into my course, but they can't actually access my course until February 28th. This is perfect if you want to pre-sell your course or if you want everyone to start on the same date. Okay, so I always like to add a start date for my first run through of my course. All right, you are going to have to open your enrollment for it. If you want people to be able to enroll, we're also going to have to set a price. Okay. You can choose if you want students to be able to comment on the topics. And so you need to make sure you're checking Podia for comments if you choose this option. If you have a Facebook group where you're encouraging students to ask your questions, you might want to say hidden or locked, and then just tell your students they need to ask comments in the Facebook group. Basically, wherever you are encouraging students to leave comments, you need to be monitoring. So just make it easy for yourself and for students to leave you comments, okay? All right. And then if you have a email service provider that integrates, you can set up your integration here. And if you have a social media image, you could put it right here, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go into pricing. So I'm gonna set this as $397 USD. And then you can also do the payment plan. So now, as I mentioned before, if you are on the 14-day trial, it's really important to upgrade your subscription to Podia before you offer a payment plan. And I speak from experience on this one. What happens is if you have the 14-day trial and offer a payment plan, your students will get the first payment taken out on your payment plan while you're in the 14-day trial. And then when you upgrade to like your regular Podia plan, it actually stops those payment plans because Podia views it essentially as you are switching onto a new plan or a new membership or however they view it on the back end. The payments don't continually come out of that customer's account, okay? This is super annoying and I have asked them about this. They need to change it. So just make sure you upgrade your account before you offer a payment plan to your customers, okay? Or else it's going to be really annoying for you and really annoying for your customers when you're like, hey, I need to set you up on a new payment plan because your payments stopped coming out, all right? So for a payment plan, I'm going to pick $39, not $19, $39 for 12 months. Okay. You can choose to also have an upsell if you want to. And so if I had something else related to YouTube, that might be a good option. I don't really have anything else related to YouTube, so I don't have anything to upsell, but you could upsell your students when they buy. And so the idea here would be like, you could get this course for $397 and then you can add on my other product and get a discount on it. That's the idea of it, okay? All right, so we've set up our pricing, we've set up our settings, we've set up our content for the first week, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you need to publish your course in order for people to be able to purchase this. All right, so as soon as it's published, hopefully no one goes onto my site and buys it because I'm gonna delete it soon, but as soon as it's published, people can actually go onto your site and purchase it. So let's go and see that link again. So view page, there we go. All right. Now I'm gonna have to see what's going on because I actually put enrollment is open, I believe. Oh, I closed enrollment, sorry. Let's open that back up for people to be able to purchase it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now that I'm on my site, I have the option to buy it for $397 or buy for 12 payments of $39, okay? And so you can go through and make a sales page, and Podia actually has a new sales page editor, which makes it pretty easy to make a nice looking sales page. It's actually very similar to Kajabi's sales page editor, so it works really nicely. And then when you click on this pop-up window comes up. Either way, they can choose which one they're going to do, okay? One trick I'm going to tell you guys, though, is if you have an existing website or if you want to send people just to this little pop-up to pay, what you can do is you can take your product URL. So, for example, mine is brandydudas.podia.com/YouTube made easy. So if I took this whole thing, and I'm just going to pop it into a new window here. If I took this whole URL and then added a /by, B-U-Y, that is the magic key. And if I push enter, it takes me to the actual like checkout for this thing. Okay, so I can choose my one-time payment and then it'll take me to collect my email address and so on. So why I like this little trick about the /by is that if you have an existing website, you can actually link the buttons on your website to come to this little checkout instead of coming to another sales page. And it just makes it less steps for your customers to go through to actually buy your course. And again, if somebody's like sends you a message and was like, I just want to buy your course, like I don't need to know anything else about it, I just want to buy it, you can send them to this URL, brandydudas.podia.com/YouTube made easy/buy. And then they can go and just purchase it right away. They don't have to go through and read your whole sales page. That is my like tip of the video to make it really easy for your customers to buy your product. All right, so you should be able to go through and set up your very first course on Podia and get selling it right away with this video. Let me know if you have any questions at all in the comments below, and I will make another video on sales page and I will link it in the description. Have a fabulous day and go create your course.